So today I wanted to try something different. I want to see where you are and how much you have learned when it comes to loops and conditional processing so far. So what we do is we take a mini task, a simple task we are going to take, and I want your help to categorize this particular one. Okay. So far we have done most of the things into the clinical side. Let's for improvisation, we can go ahead with, why can't we take one from the banking side? Okay. Let me tell you what I wanted to do here. Consider this as a simple mini task, or you can consider this as a mini project. Okay. So what I want to do, I'll tell you first. I'm going to give you list of customers. What I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you list of customers, right? I will provide you the customer data. This customer data, you need to categorize. Customer data categorization. If you ask me, Murli, what exactly you want me to do in this particular one, right? I will say, I want you to calculate the balance and you wanted to do the categorization. Two tasks I want you to do. That is, for every customer, right? Maybe I'll give 4 or 5 customers to you. For every customer, I'm expecting an output like this. Okay. Maybe for the sake of simplicity, what we do is, first we go with the customers. After having the customer list, I'll tell you what we need to do. Okay. So first, let me enter customer data for you. My customer data is like this, bank data. Now, I'm just coming back to the list. I'm creating a list of customer here. My customer IDs are like this. Let's say customer 001 or 1001, I can say. This is the first customer. This first customer also I'm creating as a list. What I'm trying to do here is, I'm going intensive listing here. Again, within this, I'm going with a list. Let's say this guy is doing a transaction, which is going to be a credit of 50,000. Again, the same thing I'm going to repeat 2, 3, 4. 4 times I have repeated here. So list I'm creating. Some of them are credit transactions. Some of them are going to be the debit transactions with different values. Let's say it is going to be around 10,000. Then I'm going to have it around 25,000. Then finally, it is going to be 5,000. For an example, let's say I have only one transaction like this, because anyways, I have closed this particular one, right? Let's see how it looks like. This is how my transaction looks like, or this is how the customer data looks like. See. Right? So what I'm going to have here, each customer, there is one customer has 4 transactions. What are the 4 transactions he have done? He have deposited an amount of 50,000. He withdrawn an amount of 10,000. Again, 25,000 deposit and 5,000 he have withdrawn. So credit and debit. Okay. Like this, I have 4 different customers, 4 or 5 customers data I'm going to take it. So this is the first guy, second, third, fourth. Okay. Now I'm going with 1002 here, 1003 here, and let's say 1004. For the second guy, let's say he have done only 3 transactions. So one is going to be the credit, which is of 80,000. Second one is going to be debit, which is going to be 1 lakh. And third is going to be the another credit. Let's say it is only going to be 3,000. I'm just trying to categorize my data in a way which is convenient to me. Okay. So now I'm going with the third guy. Third guy has done a debit. He started with a debit, right? So he debited only 1,000 first. Then he credited 2,000. Then he debit again, he made another transaction, which is going to be debit of 5,000. Now I'm going with the last guy, this guy. So first credit transaction start with 1 lakh, right? Then debit is of 2,000. And then credit is going to be again of 70,000. Maybe you take little time to digest the data. Don't worry, I can help you with this. So this is going to be my data, right? You can see it is going to be a list of four customers data. You can see here. I can see each customer has done a bunch of transactions. Those can be either of the credit transactions or of the debit transactions. Okay. Now you can ask me, Murli, what I want to do here. What you want me to do in this particular one. Okay. My simplest request to you is going to be, you need to categorize them. First of all, I wanted to know what is going to be the balance of each customer. Each customer balance I want first. Okay. So I'm expecting an output like this. This is my input, customer data, which is going to be input. Now, what is the expected output for me? This is expected output. Now again, Murli, what is the expected output for me? The expected output is going to be, first go ahead and print what is the customer ID is. Just give me a log enough, or just put it in the console enough. Customer ID is CUST001, 1001, the first guy. Now, what is the total amount credited? I wanted to see total amount credited. What is the total amount credited for the first guy? 5,000 and 25,000. 75,000 is the credited amount. Debited amount is going to be 15,000. Am I correct? 75,000 is the credited amount. Then I want you to calculate total amount debit. So you can say total amount credit, total amount debit. The debit amount is going to be 15,000. What is the balance now? What is the balance now? Yes, you have to tell me. 60,000, correct? I can simply say that final account balance is 60,000, because 75,000 minus 15,000 is 60,000. Now I also wanted to add you few more things. What is the category? I'll tell you the criteria for category. Again, is there any suspicious transaction detected or not? That details also I want, right? Message also I want. Now I need to give you two things. What is going to be suspicious category here? The second one is going to be, how do you figure out how do you figure out the suspicious categories? I need to give you, right? I will give you that. But before I start with this, before I ask you to work on this particular one, did you get what is the requirement is? Because I wanted to see your, where you are. I wanted to check your skills. Are you intact with whatever we have discussed so far? That is the reason I'm asking this. That is the reason I'm asking this. Right? So what I'm trying to do here, I can call this particular one as, one second, guys. Guys, okay. Now, this is what I wanted to do. I just copy paste this particular one. This is what I wanted to do. See, your mini project is this. All I wanted to do here is going to be, it's mini project one. The name of the project is going to be, I wanted to analyze the banking transactions. All I need to do is process each transaction from the customer. First of all, find the total credit and debit for each customer. Second, go with the final account balance. find suspicious transactions and flag it. How to find the suspicious transaction? Any transaction over 50,000 is a suspicious transaction. Categorize them based on the final account balance. What do you mean by the categorization? If total account balance is going to be less than 10,000, consider that as a what I can call it as low one. If it is going to be 10,000 to 1 lakh, it is going to be a medium category. If anything is going to be more than 1 lakh, it is going to be high category. And now this guy is going to be fall under medium category. So category is medium. And you can see anything more than 50,000 is a suspicious transaction, right? Right? Is there any suspicious transaction find for this particular guy? What I have said, find suspicious transaction, find it. Any transaction that is going to be over, or I can also consider equal to or over. Maybe you can also take that particular one, right? Or you can strictly say whatever is going to be the transaction amount. If the transaction amount is going to be greater than 50,000, only then you can take it. I don't have any transaction which is going to be more than 50,000 for this particular guy. It is only equal to 50,000. So I don't need to say any suspicious transaction found or not found for this guy, right? This is what I wanted to do. This is my input. This is my output. This is going to be the categories, or this is going to be the analysis that I wanted to do. Guys, can you see the screen now? I just have updated it. I have updated it here. You can see mini project 1, banking transaction analyzer, process each transaction, and I want you to calculate this. Now, I have given all the details. You can see, let's say customer ID, what is the total credit, what is the total debit, what is going to be the final account balance, and what is the category. Correct? So if final account is going to be less than 10,000, consider it as a low. If it is going to be 10,000 to 1 lakh, consider it as a medium. If it is more than 1 lakh, consider the category as high. This is what I want you to do. First of all, is the requirement clear to all of you? Can I have that confirmation? If you tell me what needs to be done, that if you understand what we are going to do here, then doing all other work is going to be easy. So that's the reason I keep asking you, did you understand what needs to be done here? Yes or no? Hello. Guys, I'll get some kind of encouragement if you answer to me. If you wanted to just listen and leave, or if you wanted to have a one-sided conversation, you can go with the recorded sessions. That is very simple. Right? The live classes is primarily for interaction. If you are not able to speak up, let me know. I won't ask you. Because this is the second class I'm feeling this. Are you able to hear me, first of all?
Yes, sir.
Then what's wrong?
Yes, sir.
Why you are not able to talk anything? Okay, never mind. Let me know what is going to be your approach for this. Because I'll try to go with these kind of examples. The only reason is going to be, see, instead of this, I can start with a while loop today. I can happily save at least half an hour to 45 minutes of the time. One class, I can literally save it. But I'm not interested to save my time. Instead, I wanted to give as much information as possible, as much challenging questions as possible, so that when you go to the real time, when you start working on your coding, you don't face any issues, because you know for everything what needs to be done. Right? That is the only reason why I'm going with this. Fine. All right. Let me explain what needs to be done here. What is going to be the process? See, my first requirement is going to be, I need to go to each customer. So obviously, my first thing is going to be loop through each customer. I should loop through each customer. So when I wanted to go to each customer, definitely I need a for loop, right? You can ask me, why can't I go with other loops? For now, we have covered only for loop. That's the reason I'm interested to go with the for loop. Now, if I wanted to go with the for loop, can anyone tell me what is going to be our vector and what is going to be the variable? You tell me.
Vector is customer ID.
Vector is customers. Okay, what else? Okay, now can you see this? Maybe I'll just teach you a few things. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 values are here. Correct? 4 different customers are here. All these are going to be the names of your list. Customer ID. Yes, you are right. Can I say this is a list, right? When I go, you can see here, when I go with the list, each one of this is going to be a named list. Am I correct or not? I have 2 different lists. One is going to be the named list, indexed list. So whenever I have a name, I can call that as a named list. Am I correct? 2, 3, 4. These 4 are going to be the named lists. How do I get the names list of your customers? I can simply say names of bank data. If I say names of my bank data, that means maybe if you want to cross check, you can also cross check here. Test. What do you have here under the test, which is going to be 4 characters. So what 4 values? What are those 4 values? If you want, you can cross check and see customer ID 101, 1002, 1003, 1004, which is nothing but name of your list, correct? Now, I need to pick for each customer. That is my requirement. So I'm taking in as my names of my bank data. My variable, I can take anything, I, J, K, X, Y, Z, anything I can take, or simply, I can also consider that as a customer ID. I can choose any name here, right? So as long as your customer ID is in any one of it, run through your loop. That is the first thing that we are doing. Next, what I need to do over there, I need the list of transactions, right? I need the list of transactions for each customer. So what I'm calling that here as transactions list. Transactions list. All the transactions made by the each customer. See, all I'm trying to do is from my bank data. Can I do this? What is the meaning? I'm using double braces here. What is the meaning? Bank data of, if you want, you can see here, bank data of customer ID 001. Can I say that is the meaning now? Let's take this. What did you got there under the test? The first customer data. Am I correct or not? He made 4 transactions. All the 4 transactions of the first customer you can see here. See. This guy has done a credit, a debit, again a credit, again a debit. 4 transactions he have made. Those 4 transaction details I'm taking. That is a transaction list of that particular customer, because I need to take the transaction list for each and every customer. That's the reason I'm doing it. If you want, I can also write the comments here for your future reference. So here, names of bank data, names of bank data. What it is going to do? It is going to give customer IDs. That's it, right? All it is going to do is customer IDs it is bringing to you. Second, here I have used one more. What is that? Bank data of customer IDs. What this is going to do for you? This one is going to retrieve all customer transactions. Retrieve all customer transactions. Is that correct? First of all, did you understand what I'm trying to do here? I'm just trying to retrieve all customer transactions here, and I'm keeping that particular one within this. Clear? This gives the sense of what I'm trying to do here. Can I have a confirmation? Everyone? Yeah, first of all.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful.
But only one
Ah.
brace was what happens, sir?
Sorry, I'm not getting it. Repeat it.
Here you can use two braces, huh?
So it means you forget data types. Okay, let me open that. Data types. When I want to retrieve elements from the list, if I want to retrieve elements from the list, right? List data type. See, how do you extract the list data type elements? You can see by using the double square braces or by using the dollar, you are going to extract your data. Is that correct? Now, do you understand why you are using the double braces here?
Yes.
So don't forget. So see, the foundation is very important. We spent so much of time over there just to understand this because this is the most important one. No problem. If you keep getting these questions, keep asking me. I will answer it. But ensure that you remember it for the future references. Now, what I want now? I wanted to have 4 values I'm expecting here. What is that? Customer ID, anyways, it is there. I can get it. Total credit I want, a total debit I want, right? So I need to initialize those, right? So initialization. So all I need to do is I just need to initialize. So what I want to initialize, all I wanted to initialize here is going to be find something called credit amount. This variable is going to have the total credit amount. I'm initializing with 0. Similarly, what is going to be the debit amount? Because I want that also, right? So debit amount. Next thing is, I also wanted to flag suspicious transactions. Find suspicious transactions and flag them. So I can just call it as suspicious transaction flag. Suspicious transaction. I call this particular one as flag. Right? I just call it as yes or no. For now, everything I'll keep it as false. So what we have done, I need these 3 for every transaction. So debit amount, credit amount, as well as the third one, we have initialized it. To be precise, we also need to have the balance. Correct or not? Balance also we need to calculate. But that balance we are going to calculate a little later. Okay. Now, so what we have, we done with the initialization. What is the next thing I need to do? I found each customer. For each customer, I have the list. Now, I need to go through each of the list because this list contains the debit and credit. If it is going to be a debit, I need to do something. If it is going to be a credit, I need to do something. Correct? So now I need to say loop through the transactions. Loop through the transactions. What is the meaning of loop through the transactions? Here you have seen, right? Now I have got one customer. Let's say this. Come on. Yeah. Now, one customer transaction data is 001 transaction data is this. If it is a credit, I need to find the type now. If it is a credit, I need to add 50,000 to the credit amount. If it is a debit, I need to add 10,000 to the debit amount. So how I'm differentiating it? I need to go to each of this particular transaction. Within that particular transaction, I need to find what is going to be the value, whether it is going to be a transaction type is a credit or debit. If it is a credit, do something. If it is going to be a debit, do other thing. So now I need a if else also. Correct or not? But before we go with the if else also, first of all, I need to know how to go to each of the transactions. Again, a for loop. What is going to be your vector now? My vector is going to be the transaction list. This is the transaction list because it has 4 transactions, 3 transactions. Each transaction I need to go. I can give any name here. Since I'm dealing with the transaction, I call this particular one as a transaction itself. My variable name is a transaction. For each of the transaction, now, again, I need to do something. What I need to do is, okay, First of all, tell me how many transaction lists will be there. If I look into this particular one, whatever we just have seen, the transaction list is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, so many things will be there. Am I correct or not? So how do I get this? Go here, go to your bank data. Now you already inside the customer. Within the customer, now you need to go ahead and figure out these two. Can I say that within the customer, you keep all these 4 into the transaction list? Can I say within the transaction list, the first one, again, if I go with the double one, which is going to be the type of the transaction, 2 is going to be the value of that particular transaction. Can I say that? What I'm trying to say now, see, it's a step by step. You need to concentrate a lot. First, bank data. We'll go step by step. See, bank data. With the bank data is a list. Now, all the 4 names of this particular one, I stored into one variable, and that variable I called as a transaction list. Right? Now, for the customer ID 001, these 4, can I say these 4 are going to be the transaction list? Can I say that? 4 transactions are there. How do I pick the first transaction? So again, I have to use double braces followed by the 1. Now, if I go inside of this, again, it has 2. What it has actually? The first one is going to be the type of transaction. The second one is going to be the value of the transaction. Correct? Now, we need to make use of that particular one. This transaction is holding 4 values now. Within that, the transaction type is the one which I can get it based on whatever the transaction is. First transaction in the transaction list, what is the first value I'm going to have it? This is the value I'm going to have it. This is the value. Right? So can I say if I go with 1, if I go with the double braces 1, that is nothing but type of the transaction. So how I can get that one? Yeah, from the transaction, take the first value and store it within that. Now, the second one, what is going to be the amount? For each transaction, there is going to be amount, whether it is a debit or it is going to be a credit, there is going to be an amount associated to that particular one. That is going to be 2. Is that correct, guys? So far, all of you are able to understand what it is? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, wonderful. So now transaction type for the first transaction is going to be credit. Transaction amount for the first transaction is going to be 50,000. That is what we have done so far. Next. I know only these 2 values, but we haven't done any of the operations yet. Now I am going to say, if whatever is going to be the transaction type that you have figured it out for this transaction, if it is going to be credit, what I need to do? If the transaction type is equal to credit, whatever is going to be the credit amount, this I need to update. How I have to update? Credit amount plus the transaction amount that you have calculated in the previous one. Correct? If not, what is the second alternative? Else, if the transaction amount is going to be debit, if the transaction amount is going to be debit, then I need to update my debit amount value with transaction amount. Is that correct? So now what happened, we will see. Customer ID 001 is the one which is entering. Now let's see the flow. Let's visualize the flow. Customer ID 001, it will be picked as a customer ID. Now, the customer ID 001 has 4 transactions. We flagged this as 0, debit as 0, suspicious transaction as false. Out of 4 transactions, I'm taking the first transaction now. Now the type is going to be credit. The value is going to be 50,000. Now, since it is 50,000, my credit amount will be updated with 50,000. That is what we have done so far. Clear? Now, so if it is going to be based on the credit and debit amounts, automatically it is going to take credit amounts, it is going to increase, debit amount, it is going to increase. But so far, we have not done anything for the suspicious transaction. How do I do anything for the suspicious transaction? Within the for loop itself, if whatever is going to be the transaction amount is, if the transaction amount is greater than 50,000, if this is going to be the scenario, then what I need to do? I need to go ahead and say the suspicious transaction flag, I need to override this particular one with true. Else it remains going to be false only. Is that correct so far? Right? So you go to each transaction, you go to each customer, check the transaction type. Credit means increase your credit amount. Debit means increase your debit amount. Find any of the customer transaction which is going to be more than 50,000. Then you automatically update the suspicious transaction flag as true. All this I'm doing for each of the customer. All this we are doing for each of the customer, right? So we are within the customer list and we are doing this particular one. So each customer is done. Now you are coming out of this loop. This loop you will come out. Next. What is the next thing? Balance and categorization. Balance and categorization is still pending. Now, let's go ahead with that. How to do that? How to calculate the balance? How to calculate the balance? Tell me. Balance is nothing but. Now I'm doing this for each customer. Within this loop I'm doing now. Right? You can see within this loop I'm doing now. Balance is nothing but whatever is going to be your credit amount minus whatever is your debit amount. Done. Right? Now, categorization. How to do the categorization? Based on the balance. If your balance is going to be lesser than 10,000, if your balance is going to be lesser than 10,000, then you are going to say the category of that particular customer is going to be a low value, right? Then I'll say else if balance is less than or equal to 1 lakh, because already 10,000 transactions you have seen over there. Medium. If these two are not the scenarios, obviously the category is going to be high. Can I say categorization is also done? Right? But I also told you, I don't want this. I want my results to be like this. Correct? I need to go with the results. Print results is also important. Now I am going with print results. So how I want my print results? Can I say this is nothing but a pure concatenation, right? Right? See this? This is what I want. I'll go with concatenation, which is nothing but cat function. Cat of my customer ID is, comma. Now, whatever the first customer ID, for this customer ID, all these things are happening. Customer ID. Correct? Customer ID is followed by that is done. I'm just putting a new line character. Slash n means new line character. New line I'm going to get it. First thing is done. Right? Do the same for the remaining ones. 2, 3, 4, 5. Second one is going to be, I need some space after that. If you see here carefully, I added some space after that. So add some space and do this. Total amount credit. This is nothing but your credit amount, right? Done. The next thing is going to be the debit amount. So now I will say here total debit amount. Done. Right? What is the next one? Final account balance. Final account balance is, this is nothing but your balance. What is the next one? Category is. So what is the category? This is the category. What else you have? Suspicious transaction is also there, but the suspicious transaction, you need to put it only if you find suspicious transaction. If the suspicious transaction is not there, you don't need to put it. So within the results also, I can use a if condition. If whatever the suspicious transaction flag is, if this value is equal to true, if this value is equal to true, only then I have to go ahead and say category. Then I will say suspicious transaction detected. I need to say suspicious transaction detected. Otherwise, I don't need to put anything. Correct or not? I don't need to put anything. Now, I wanted to separate each customer separately. At the end, what I'm trying to do is cat of repeat. I'm just using a function called repeat. This you will learn little later. Repeat. What I wanted to do is I wanted to repeat equal to so many times. How many times? Means 50 times I want to repeat it. Right? Followed by again a new line char. That's it, guys. My code is done. Can we see whether the code is going to work or not? Any errors are there? We are going to see that. See, from here to here, I'm going to run in a single time. What did you get here? Customer ID is 1001. Total amount is 75,000. Amount debit is 15,000. Final account is 60,000. Account balance. Category is medium because it is more than 10,000, less than 1 lakh. No suspicious transaction found. I don't get anything. Second guy. You can see customer ID 1002. This one. Total amount. What is that? Credit is going to be 83,000. Debit is going to be, it is 1 lakh. That is the reason it is showing like this. If you want, we can round it off also. That also we can do. Total amount balance is equal to minus 17,000. It will negative balance. Since this guy has found one of the transaction which is going to be more than 50,000, two transactions are there. That is the reason we can see a suspicious transaction is detected. Right? Again, next guy. Next guy. For everyone, we get the data. Now you can see equal to has printed like this. That is the reason I use this particular one. Is it worth enough? Do you think it is good? So you have used your for loops, you have used your list, you have used your if else condition. You know how to get this particular thing properly. Now tell me, guys, is it understandable or not? Now I'll take your feedback. If you need these kind of things, I will continue to give it to you. Maybe at end of each of the topic, I will do this. Right? If you see, Murli, this is not good, or this is not helping me much, or it is confusing me, in that particular case, what I will do is, I will stop these things. I just go with the regular topic and regular exercises. But remember one thing, if you go with these kind of stuff, it will challenge you first. From the challenges only you are going to learn it. It's purely up to you. Whether you want this kind of things or you don't want this kind of things is up to you. Right? If you are interested, I'll happily go ahead and say for every topic, end of each module, I will start doing this.
Continues this.
We can continue, right?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Good.
Can you please update the notes also? So we need to practice this, right? And then.
My bad. I haven't updated. I'll do that. I definitely do.
Thank you.
Otherwise, you cannot practice it. And
Yes.
if you are comfortable with this, can I give you one, what I can call it as similar lines, exactly on the similar lines? Can I give you one simple assignment?
Okay.
Similar way.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
I'll explain you now and I'll give you, then you can work on this particular one. Okay? I just kept it ready. Yeah, this is the one. So what I want is, this is from healthcare side. This is healthcare side. All I would need here is going to be, guys, I have actually I got a question here. Instead of printing this, now if I wanted to enhance it, if you are thinking in the lines of enhancing this particular one, instead of printing this results, can I create a data frame? Anyone? Can I create a data frame? See, here it is printing here, right? It is printing here. I don't want to print. Instead, I wanted to have my output as a data frame. Even that we can do. See, enhancement. While talking, I got this. Enhancement to above. So what I want to do here is, I wanted to have store my output in a data frame. This is what I wanted to do. So to do that particular one, so it is very simple, but you need to know two functions. If you know those two functions, automatically we can do. But it is little advanced, because for that you required something called, what I can call it as appending you required. That is one of the things that you require. Second is going to be, you also need to know what is called lapply. There is a function called apply functions. You need to know that. I think once we go with those functions, I can explain that. So for now, it is little overhead for you. Unnecessarily, you will get confused. So no need to go with that particular one right now. But once I complete the apply functions, so we have something called apply, sapply, lapply, mapply. These are apply functions. When you go with that, I will explain this. Okay, now because it requires some of the things like R binding required, right? It is, we are not there yet. Now let me explain what is the project is. It is a hospital patient treatment analyzer. I'm gonna give you a bunch of subjects. What you need to do is, for subject or patient, for each patient you need to calculate what is the total treatment cost. Second, if any of the treatment cost is more than 25,000, any one I'm talking about, call that as an expensive treatment. If any of the subject is having more than one disease, identify patients with multiple chronic conditions, then you can say that, yes, this particular guy has more than one condition to deal with. Finally, whatever is the total amount you have done, total expense you have done, if the total expense is going to be less than 10,000, keep it as a low, medium, and high, more or less in the similar line. Suppose if my patient ID is P001, the name is here. This guy is dealing with two diseases. What are them? Diabetes and hypertension. How many number of treatments also I want? I want how many number of treatment also? How many records also? There are 3 records. What is the total cost? 38,000. Since it is a 38,000, it is going to be a medium one. This is how I'm expecting the data. Can you guys do that? I'll give you the data, don't worry. I'll supply the data to you. Everyone, did you understand the question? What you need to do?
Yes.
Okay. All right. This is one of the wonderful thing to do. Again, I can actually this, maybe I'll also show you this. Actually, similar thing I have done in Python. So we have Python classes also, right? Data analyst classes. There I have done this already. So, but there we have done it in Python. Now you are going to do it in R. Whatever the previous code, that entire previous code also, I have completely did it in Python. Now today we have written the code in R. Python, R, SAS, everything is same, right? If you know the logic, you can go ahead and write the code anywhere you want, right? This is the same thing I have explained to my previous batch of SAS students. The SAS code we have implemented in Python. The Python code now implemented in R, right? Because your use cases remains going to be the same. Your use cases will not get changed. Only thing that is going to get changed is going to be your technology. Your technologies are the one which are going to change. But other than technologies, nothing else is going to change. Okay, just give me 1 second. Python loops. Okay, this is the one that just now I have explained to you. This is what I have written in Python. It's getting connected. The very next code you can see at the down, mini project 2, hospital patient treatment analyzer. It takes little time. It is kernel is busy. Wait a second. Right? So your data is going to be like this. Here I'm using the dictionaries. There I'm going to use the list. Your data is going to be like this. Finally, I need an output like this. Right? So these are very interesting, guys. It's all about how you wanted to do it. You can see here, right? All the variables are at the top. On the down, you can see nicely you got your data. Same data you got there also. Customer ID 75,000, 60,006. Everything you got it same. Now your second one, I just show you the output. This is what I'm expecting. My patient data starts here. I'll show you what is the expected output is. I'll give you this data to you because I need to convert this into the list I need to give. Otherwise, you cannot use it. That's it. On the right hand side, you can see now. Patient ID 001. This is the condition. Multiple chronic conditions are equal to 2. Patient number 2, there are no multiple conditions, only 1. Patient number 3, multiple conditions are equal to 3. Expensive treatment is chemotherapy. Category is high. Patient number 4, low. Right? Very nice way of visualizing. The loops that we are going to use here is different from the loops that we are going to use there. But still, overall, it is going to be the same. For loop is same here and there. Here also we have for loop, while, until, and other things. They are also the same. Here you can see some additional control statement, but in R we don't have that. But end of the day, whether you are working in Python, you are working in SAS, you are working in R, it remains going to be the same. Only hack is going to be, you should know how to use it. You should know the logic. If you know the logic, everything is easy. Make sense, all of you? Can I have a confirmation? Yeah.
Are there any functions like group by or sum
Yeah, we do
to
have
do this
it.
task?
No, for this task, you don't need it. You are not summarizing anything. As long as you are not summarizing, you don't need. Oh, now I
Or
got
the
you what you're
credit
trying.
amount and yeah.
The credit amount I just added here, right? I haven't do any group by. Okay, let me tell you, when do you need a group by?
Mhm.
If I already have a customer, or if I already have a patient, if I have multiple records for that particular patient, then I need to summarize it. Am I correct or not? But all my data is not in a table now. It is in a different list. So I cannot use the group by, or I cannot summarize the data here. Summarization I can do as long as my data is in a table, that too same customer in a multiple rows, then only I can do. Am I correct or not? In SAS also you do that only when you have the data like that. Correct or not? So I'm assuring you there is no need of going with a sorting. There is no need of going with grouping in this particular case. There is no need. All right. I'll upload yesterday's and today's class as well as the notes. Just go there and try to practice it, and request you don't depend on your Google. Going with Google, copy pasting it doesn't help you. Try out. If you stuck anywhere, we can discuss in tomorrow's class. Where you stuck, you tell me, I'll help you from there. Remember, you are learning. This is not a test. You are learning. Clear?
Assignment where it is uploaded.
Assignment?
Where it is uploaded.
No, it is not uploaded yet. Just now I thought about it. I'll upload it to you. So there are two ways. One, either I'll give you the details in your WhatsApp chat, or I'll try to see if I can upload into our website itself directly.
Okay.
I see to that. Okay? Anyone, I'll inform you, don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, I think I have an option of uploading as an assignment. I'll see to that. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
एक marker.